Welcome to today's workout. It is part 2 of the food addiction section. If you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch that one first because it has sort of the symptoms of what food addictions are, and you can see if you feel like you have one. Part 2 is the solution, so that's always the best part to anything. So let's take a look. Often food is like an abusive relationship. We've been hiding it from everyone, including ourselves. And it's almost like if I don't write it down, if I don't track, it's not really happening. And we're abusing our bodies a little bit. We're certainly not keeping the commitments we made to ourselves. So abuse is maybe a strong word, but it's certainly a word that might be warranted. So being really careful about the food that you eat and why you eat it. And again, that's where part 1 is really helpful because it really lays out what an addiction looks like. So these are the strategies to deal with a food addiction. And when I say addiction, I'm also talking about tolerance to food, which means I can eat more of it and it won't affect me, but it's not good for me. Or food dependence, which is I'm not addicted. I could give it up if I had to, but I become really dependent on it when I'm stressed or depressed or when I need a friend. But I could give it up without too many side effects. So when I say addiction, I mean all of the other parts of it too. So the first thing is to discover what food does for you and then find alternative ways to meet those needs. That's really going to be your bottom line. That's the lifestyle choice that you'll make and sustain through the rest of your life. Here's how you want to do that. If you have a craving, and it could be a head craving, it could be a mouth craving, it could be anything but a hunger craving, locate where in your body you're feeling that. And then when you've located it, by doing a body scan. And if you don't know how to do a body scan, I'll put a link to how to do a body scan in the notes and you'll be able to find it there. So when you do this body scan and find the craving, then immediately ask yourself, how old do I feel when I feel this craving? Most of the time, we're not our chronological age. And if you feel younger, remember what was happening back then. And most of the time, things will fall together for you and you'll go, oh, that was the time that I was so scared about starting school, or that was the time my parents accidentally left me at the mall, or something like that. You'll be able to hook it to a reason. And then you want to talk to that younger self. The younger self is just a part of you. It's not a separate part. It's just part of you that got stuck back at that spot. It's sort of holding a bookmark at that spot that gives you the opportunity to heal through the craving. And there's also going to be a visualization to help your younger self. And so if you go there, I'll walk you through the steps of how to do that. You work your younger self through it, and then the craving, the need for that food or that strong craving often either just completely goes away or it becomes less and less of a craving. And after a while it goes away, or at least it's much easier for you to manage. Another way to have an alternative is to manage your stress through journaling, support from others, meditation, yoga, meridian tapping, EFT tapping, etc. And there is a workout that talks about meridian tapping or EFT tapping, and you could go there and that would help too. Making sure you get enough sleep. The research is showing the amount of sleep we get helps us both in our ability to be masters of ourselves, but also it cuts the cravings, it cuts the cortisol. We also want to look at our environment, make sure that it's safe. The more temptation we can get out of the environment so that we don't have to look at it, the better and more success we'll have. So toss out your trigger foods. Do not let them in the house. And if they have to be in the house because you have people there that love those trigger foods, relegate them to a place that you don't even know where it is, or have them take it out to their car, or put it somewhere where you're not going to be looking. It's really helpful to have your own cupboards and space in the kitchen so that you're not looking in every cupboard if you can help it. Make sure to eat your proteins first and get the recommended number of grams a day. That helps give you that foundation for not only good nutrition, but also less cravings. Make sure you take your supplements and that you drink enough water. I really like the idea of pre-tracking your food either the night before or the morning of the day you're going to eat it, and pre-tracking your water intake, and then you just check in with your tracker through the day and make sure you're on track. Develop a routine that includes regular meals and exercise. The better our routine is, the more likely we are to stay on track. Eat mindfully, taste every bite, savor it, chew it, swallow it, make every bite that you put in your body count for 10 of the old bites. And then it helps to feed yourself with your non-dominant hand. It really slows things down. Also, using small silverware, smaller containers to fool your eyes into thinking that it's the same old size. So, in your journal, using the suggestions that were given in the last 2 slides, create a plan that you're going to use for your danger foods and make sure that you write it down. A plan not written down is just a wish. So write it down, keep it simple, start small. You don't have to incorporate every single suggestion. In fact, just choose one that seems to fit into your schedule. And then the first 2 weeks of this workout, evaluate your plan daily, every day. Notice what works, keep doing that. Notice what isn't working, so try it a different way, kind of fine tune it, and what you need to add or take out to make your plan challenging enough to be fun, but not too hard to be discouraging. Be curious about your progress and your challenges and avoid judgment. If it doesn't work out the way you thought, be curious about why. And sometimes as we're curious, we'll learn things about ourselves that are really pretty neat. And actually, it's a good thing things didn't turn out the way we had expected. Any movement that you make toward your goal is a win. Then after 2 weeks of evaluating every day, you can sort of spread it out to maybe 3 times a week until over time your plan becomes a habit. You can add in more things to it as you conquer the things that you've already added, and then you'll evaluate it less formally over time. But if you fall off the wagon, go back to daily evaluations. This really works, and so just start small. Make sure that you really celebrate your successes and just enjoy the process. If you enjoy the process, it will be much easier and you will be successful. So happy workout. Enjoy your day. Thanks for being here.